The fiercest storm in 50 years was tearing at the coast, and the one light that could guide a boat safely home had gone dark. Out in his cottage, the old keeper grabbed his battered lantern, pushed open the door, and ran out into the howling rain. He hauled himself up the spiral stairs 2 at a time, the little bird clinging tight to his shoulder through every step. Then the wind found a shattered window, screamed straight through the tower, and tore the heavy lantern clean out of his hand. But Wick was already gone. He shot off the shoulder, straight into the dark, and snatched the falling handle right out of the air. He held on, wings beating against the gale, until the old man's hand finally closed over the lantern again. At the very top, the door had blown wide open, and the precious spare bulb was rolling loose across the tilting floor, heading straight for the gap in the railing. Pym threw himself after it and missed. But the little bird dove faster. One braced the door, one gripped the wires. Together, they twisted the bulb home, and nothing happened. Then the old keeper struck the housing with his fist, and the great lamp roared to life, a huge golden beam blasting out across the open sea. Far below, the little fishing boat caught the beam at last, turned, and steadied itself toward the safety of the harbour. The old keeper slumped against the glass, exhausted, as the small bird tucked under his beard, the two of them watching the light guide it home.
Everything you just watched was fully AI animated. Every character, every shot generated, nothing hand-drawn, the same character holding consistent the whole way through. Now, most people who try this end up giving up because it gets complicated fast. But in this video, I'll walk you through the exact workflow that makes it simple. Step by step, nothing left out. So if we haven't met, I'm Zinny, and on this channel, I teach you how to build faceless content with AI the smart way. For this, we'll be covering the 7 stages of the workflow, starting with writing your script, then locking your character, the storyboard, the voiceover, the animation, and the final edit. And to follow along, I've left the prompts we'll be using in this video, plus all the steps in the description box, so you can grab them and build right alongside me. Let's get into it. The first step is to generate your script. You can use any large language model of your choice. For this walkthrough, I'll be using Claude. I'm using Claude Chat, which is available on the free plan. You can come in here, ask Claude to generate a script, and describe exactly what you want. I already have a script prepared, so I'll paste it here. One important thing to note is that at the very top, you need to ask Claude to use the skill you'll attach so it can create the information needed to generate the story. You'll use the link in the description and attach it here. Let me get the skill link and attach it. Once it's attached, let's quickly look at what's inside the skill. The skill helps you create prompts specifically for all types of animations. It can also be used for realistic cinematic stories. What it will do is generate a character sheet. Use that character sheet to create different image prompts for different storyboards, and then generate the prompts for creating the video. That's what this is going to do for you. After that, go ahead and submit. Once you submit, Claude will start generating. First, it will generate the character sheet for the story, and once that's done, it will generate the rest. We'll wait for it to finish, and then I'll explain what it generated. The first thing it created was a character sheet prompt, and then it broke the story down into segments to match the length of the script. As you can see, it broke the story into 6 segments of 15 seconds each. The reason for that is the video model we'll be using later has a maximum length of 15 seconds, and we want to capture as much detail as possible within that time. After that, it started generating image prompts for the storyboard, and you'll see shortly why we're using a storyboard. One of the biggest concerns in animation is keeping the characters consistent. Once it finished generating the storyboard for all 6 segments, it moved on to generating the video prompts for all 6 segments. The most important thing to notice is that within each timeline, it tells you what each panel is supposed to be, and it does that for every segment. Now that we have this, the first thing we're going to do is copy the character sheet prompt. We want to generate the base character first, so copy the character sheet. It's also important to mention that you can use any platform of your choice to generate this. For this tutorial, I'll be using Higgsfield because I already have a subscription and want to use it to show this workflow. Once you're in Higgsfield, paste in the character sheet prompt and choose a model of your choice. I've been testing a couple of models. GPT Image 2 tends to give better quality right now compared to Nano Banana Pro, so I'll select GPT Image 2, then High, then 4K. I'm going to use 16 by 9 and select two generations so I can compare them and choose the one we'll use. Then I'll click on Generate. It will start generating and we'll wait for it to finish so we can choose the one we'll use going forward. As you can see, we now have a couple of character sheets generated. Click into this, then choose the one you want to use. I'll pick one that I really like. This one shows everything, the side, the back, and even the lantern. Let's look at this one. This one isn't bad either. Let's go with this one. Once you've chosen the character sheet you want, drag it into the box here. I'll drag it in, then we'll go back to Claude. This time, we're going to pick the first storyboard, which has 6 panels. This skill gives you 6 panels at once, but you can increase the number of panels depending on what you want. I'll copy this, go back to Higgsfield, paste it in, and generate. We'll generate this using the character sheet as a reference so it can create all the images consistently. Once it finishes, we'll look at how the panel turned out. This is the same process you'll follow for all the other sections, from section 2 to the last section. We'll wait for this to complete. Segment 1 is done, and as you can see, it looks really cinematic. This turned out pretty well. This is the first storyboard with 6 panels. When we start animating, we'll begin with image 1, go all the way to image 6, and then continue with the other segments. Now we'll wait for the other segments to finish generating. At this point, all the segments are done. This is segment 2. As you can see, the character is consistent. That's why you need to generate the character sheet first and use it as a reference for the different scenes. Now that we have all the storyboards generated, the next step is to start animating them. We'll go back to Claude, and the next thing we'll do is start picking the video prompts one after the other. We'll take the video prompt for segment 1, then come back to Higgsfield. This time we'll go to segment 1, click on Animate, and it will open this video page. What we are going to do next is choose the Seedance model. Search for Seedance 2.0. Then paste in the prompt we copied. Make sure the duration is set to 15 seconds. The aspect ratio is 16 by 9, and I'll be using 1080p. Then I'll upload the image again because it removed it. Now that the image is uploaded, click on Generate. It's important to mention that you don't need to add the character sheet anymore. The character sheet we generated at the beginning was only used to help us create the storyboard. Go ahead and click on Generate and it will start generating the video. Then I'll generate the other scenes as well so we can play them once everything is finished. While this is animating, let me explain what it's going to do. It will go through each of those scenes and expand them. It's not just going to animate them as separate blocks, it's going to expand them one after the other and connect them. That's why Seedance 2.0 is so good. It's also going to add background sounds and sound effects to make it feel cinematic even before we've done the voiceover. While the video is generating, we'll quickly go ahead and generate the voiceover. Once every clip is ready, we'll put everything together in CapCut. You can use 11 Lab to generate your audio or any other platform you prefer. Since we're already in Higgsfield, I'll show how to generate the audio here. I'll go to Audio, then select Voiceover. From here, you can paste in the script and choose the voice you want. You can also create your own voice or record with your own voice and use the voice changer to modify it. For now, let's quickly select a voice to use. I'll click here and look for a good voice. I've selected a voice called Killian. Now I'm going to generate it, wait for it to finish, and then we'll listen to how it turned out. This is now done. Let's quickly play it and hear how it sounds.
The coast, and the lighthouse had gone dark.
It sounds pretty good, so I'm going to download it and then wait for the videos to finish generating. The first segment is done. Let's play it so you can see how it turned out. This turned out really well. It looks like the other ones are still generating for us here. I'll go ahead and download all of them, then bring everything into CapCut so we can put it together. I've already downloaded everything and imported it into CapCut. First, we'll place the audio we generated, then we'll start placing the segments, listening through them and making adjustments to ensure everything aligns properly. I've now placed each segment with the voiceover. As I play through it, it's important to mention that Seedance, as good as it is, still makes mistakes. As you can see here, this scene looks strange. The bulb is supposed to be in the switch of the lantern and it isn't supposed to behave this way. So for scenes like this, you may need to generate them again. For the most part though, it got the scene right. Another issue I noticed is in this scene where the character was trying to close the door. You can see the door is hanging in midair and the character suddenly has longer hair. So for this segment, you may need to regenerate that specific scene to make sure it's correct. But overall, most of it turned out really well. Once everything is set up, and since it already includes the sound effects as well as the voiceover, you don't need to do anything else. If you want, you can add music to support the story, but this is already good. Then click on Export, name your folder, choose the resolution you want, and export it to the folder of your choice. So that's the full process. You wrote the script and every prompt in one Claude session. You locked your characters in GPT Image 2 and turned them into storyboards. You generated the voiceover in Higgsfield, animated each shot in Seedance, and brought it all together in CapCut. And not a single prompt invented twice. No character drift, no prompt chaos. Now, there is a faster way to run this entire pipeline. Higgsfield just launched their supercomputer. Instead of doing 8 stages manually, you feed in one detailed brief, characters, scenes, style, camera, and it runs the whole pipeline for you. One input, full animated output. I'm covering the full supercomputer workflow in the next video, the brief template, the exact inputs, when to use it instead of the manual pipeline. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Now, if you want to keep going deeper than what fits in a video, this is exactly what we do every week inside Accelerate. It's my community of faceless builders. We jump on weekly calls together. We break down channels that are quietly winning with AI animation. Beat by beat, we share the automations and AI workflows that are actually working right now, and we build alongside each other, not as students, as builders. If that sounds like your kind of room, the link to join is in the description. Come build with us.